Another Sunday hike. This is Cerro or Cerro del Chumil, whichever you prefer. And I've only done this once before. I was across the highway on New Year's Eve, just 13 days ago, and at Chalcatzingo, which reminded me that I really like this one. I only did it once 2 years ago with Gary. This one was much more difficult, very steep, much longer, higher, a little bit more difficult. The terrain is more difficult, and this is kind of a cool stopping area. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. And I met some people here.
Hi.
Pretty cool. Popocatépetl volcano is right in front of us, but we can't see it. I think Rocio is disappointed. Yeah, great view. I think we're maybe, what, a third of the way up?
I have no idea.
Maybe around there?
Maybe.
I've only done it once, so I can't remember exactly. Maybe a third?
We started there with a little red car.
Ah, yeah, there's Eric's car. Yeah, there's our starting point. It's taken us, whoops, I was zoomed in, taken us 43 minutes so far, or thus far, as some people like to say. 43 minutes. Pretty good. I think I had planned on around 2 hours to get to the top, so maybe we're more than a third. Now, this is a good one. Alright, after only 1 hour and 22 minutes, pretty short, I've made it to the top of Cerro del Chumil in the south of Morelos state, on the border of Puebla and Morelos. I did this with Gary. Gary, what's up? We'll come over here. More on that in a minute. Gary and I are going to come here next month. I swear, when Gary and I did this 2 years ago, it took like 4 hours. We had to double back a couple of times, and we took a couple of long breaks to talk about life and girls and motorcycles and alcohol and things like that, and sports, because we're macho. And but now only 1 hour and 22 minutes today, and but it's pretty difficult. It's very steep, and it's a nice day today, not too hot. I think it's maybe only high 20s, maybe 27, 28, as opposed to normally it would be over 30. And here it is. This is this over here, those two kind of mountains or cerros, is the Chalcatzingo archaeological site. I was up there 2 weeks ago on New Year's Eve with my brother and Chris. That one's much easier. That one's about an hour, maybe even less, I don't know. But easier terrain too, not as steep, and just better footing, and everything is better about the terrain. Although that one is pure sun, there's not 1 second of shade on this one. This one is mostly shade that we're in today. Here we are. And everybody has to spray paint everything. Don't know why. But there we go. It's pretty cool. Like a lot of these hikes in Mexico, they're not marked at all. I mean, once you get on them, they're marked with arrows, like this over here. But really, to get here, I don't know how I found this place in the first place. I kind of remember. That's a long story that's probably not interesting enough to include in this video. But my party, oh yeah, I was going to say, Gary and I are coming back over here to Chalcatzingo next month. I think we're going to go there on the week after the Super Bowl, or 2 weeks after the Super Bowl. And I got nothing else to say. A little addendum. We came down from the summit just a little bit, and one of these rare places where the summit doesn't offer the best views, but maybe this has even better views. Here's Eric trying not to kill himself. Too much natural at the summit. Too many damn trees get in the way of your view. So if you come down just a little bit, just a few meters, you get a much more open, clear view. There's the Chalcatzingo archaeological site. Well, the mountains, the site is over kind of there to the right of them, or in between them. You can't actually see the site. But this is cool here. These I think this is kind of a river here. It's completely dry. I guess there's only water in it during the rainy season. I'm pretty sure that's the border between Morelos State and Puebla State. But it's pretty clear that the division between the two. I'm not sure why that is like that. Kind of in the middle of nowhere of these mountains. That might be a protected area. Maybe that's why it's all dark and unharvested, or maybe just because it's too high. The rest of it all around here you can see is a valley, and it's very flat. And I may be just talking out of my ass at this point, but it's pretty nice here. And I always get the sniffles when I do this, even when it's hot. I don't have a cold, and I'm not physically cold, but I get the sniffles. I'm not sure why. Maybe somebody can explain that. So I think that's all from Cerro del Chumil.